Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now you're going to need a few items, but don't think it's a lot. It's not really. You're only going to use some of them for a few minutes. Now to make the bride from the book, you're going to need a doll. Just a nice pretty little doll. I got this one from one of the little girls that live along the road from me. I actually swapped it for a blanket for the top of her doll's pram, and she gave me this little doll. Our mum said it was fine, so thank you very much. You're going to need a ruler, a pen, a paintbrush, some tacky glue or PVA glue. It doesn't matter which glue you use as long as it dries clear. A pair of scissors just to trim up some of your book ending. You're going to need a Stanley knife or a craft knife to cut the book. You're going to need a hot glue gun or some other type of glue to glue your bookfold together, and some little paper trimmings from your book just to cover the doll's body. So the first thing you need to do is we need 200 pages to do the dress. Now I've just bought a book. This is from a charity shop. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the spine off. You're going to cut through the hardback book with this part. So what we're going to need is 200 readable pages. Now one page like this and this, that is going to make one fold. So you need 2 readable pages to make one fold. So we will need 200 pages to make 100 folds. So 200 readable pages is here. So we're going to cut those off. Now you may not need that many if your book paper is quite thick. Keep this, we can use it for a different project. Now with your 200 pages, what you're going to do is, it's up to you how wide and tall you want the dress. Now what I did was, I just roughly, it's 9, so 4.5, I just roughly cut the book in half. Very simple. It's the only reason you need this ruler and the pen. Just draw a line. That's that done with. Now what you're going to do, move that back for a second. Just put your ruler down, use your craft knife or whatever implement you have, and cut carefully through the book. You're going to cut it in half. So just keep cutting down through the book. Don't need that now. So just use your page as a guide. Try and keep it as straight as you can. So now we've got our 200 pages, we've got our book cut in half. It's up to you how tall you want the dress to be. If you want a big dress, then cut your book in half. If you want a smaller one, you can cut it shorter. It's up to you. Now all you do is use your writing as a guide. Take your first page and fold it down level with the writing, and that's it. That's all you do. Each page, fold it down level with the writing, just like that. Now you just need to open them up a little bit just to make sure that you're getting this angle here right. So you can just use your eye as a guide. If they need adjusting, then just adjust it in. So just continue doing that. That's all you need to do. Now the top of the page gives you your guide on the bottom, so that when you stand your dress up, it's going to be like that. Now fold all your pages. So once you've got it folded, don't worry too much about the top if you're not too neat. You find the centre where it's going to join, and you'll put your hot glue down inside there and just close it together like that. Now if you get really stuck, you can do your 50 folds and then do your other 50 folds and glue it together. Now don't worry if it's not perfect there, we're going to cover it. You need your little doll. Now quite conveniently this one's got a little line across here. What you're going to do is, going to do some surgery on this doll. We are actually going to cut. You may have to use a hacksaw. You're going to cut your body in half. We're going to put our hands up in the air. And we're going to put some PVA glue on. Over her body. And put it around the edge because we can fold the paper up. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to pick up a piece of paper. This is a sticky bit. Make sure there's no rude words or anything on your paper. And you're just going to decoupage your little doll. Now when you're finished, just set her aside to dry. You can put another coating on if you want, or if you're, once you're happy with it, just leave it to dry. Okay, so here is my little dolly body. I finished off doing the decoupage on her dress. I put some pearls around the top of the bodice as well. I put a little string, these are just little plastic beads. I put a string around her neck, I put some in her hair, and I've twisted her hair all around. So she is going to fit. I'm going to move the camera. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to put some hot glue around the bottom part of the doll. Not too much. And then I'm going to put some here, just roughly around where I think it's going to sit. Quite a nice part of the book. I'm going to position her where I want her. And you have to do this quickly because this is going to dry really fast. Now, the reason that I did all the bodice under hair first is because I don't want to disturb it too much. When you're moving this, you're going to crush this part of the dress when you're trying to do your body. So I will advise you to decorate your body first. So here she is now. What you have to do is just leave her to settle in there. It won't take very long at all. Now make sure you decorate your little doll's body before you stick her to the dress, because it's going to be very difficult to decorate her when she's attached to this dress part. Now you can decorate your doll whatever way you want. If you use coloured books, you're going to get a coloured dress. You can just do what you want with it. Just going to put it around there, around the waist, around the top flat part of this. And then just do what you did for the body. Just take your little pieces of paper, line them up at the edge there, and then just use your brush. So I'm just going to work my way around the edge of the dress, and that's going to hide the joint where we've hot glued it. So when I've got that done, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what our waist looks like now, once you've got the decoupaged paper all around. Now I've done about 3 layers around that edge, just to tidy up that flat top of the skirt. So don't worry when you do your book fold that if it comes out a little uneven around the top. If you struggle with your book fold to do the whole 100 folds, split it in half and do 50, then do your other 50 and glue your 2 pieces together. That will work as well, because once you've done this part, it evens up all that. You don't see it. And in crafting, it's you do what you need to do to get it to work out. So as you can see, I've done that all around the edge. I've done about 3 layers, and then I put a little coating of PVA glue over the top of it. So when that solidifies, she is really sturdy on there with the hot glue and the PVA glue. So once that will go quite hard and it'll be all nice and clear. So once that's done, I'm just going to put the last of my decoration on her, and then that's it. Now what I did with her hair, when I got this doll, when you saw at the beginning, her hair was really messy. I did try to brush it out. I put fabric conditioner in it. I tried to make it all nice and smooth, but it didn't work. Sometimes with these types of doll, the hair just stays frizzy. But what I did was, I put PVA glue in her hair, and then I twisted it all around like this. I've twisted it all with the PVA glue in, and that has kept all those frizzy little strands in the one place. So that's a little tip as well. If you've got a doll that's got horrible hair, just put some PVA glue into it and rub it all in, and then start to twist it until it sets, and it'll set like that. That's what I did to her hair. So I'm going to finish off the decoration, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. But remember, you can decorate your doll whatever way you want. The only problem I've got at the minute is she's a little tall for my camera, so it's a little difficult to get her in to the shot so you can see her. I'll move that out of the way and I'll just flatten her skit at the back like that. So now our little doll's finished. But what you can also do is if you've got lace, you can actually turn her into a bit bridal. You can turn her into a bride. You can give her a veil if that's what you want to do. You can turn her into any colour you like. You can decorate this little doll any way you want. Turned out absolutely beautiful and I'm really, really pleased with it. So give it a little try. It's a lovely little object, it's a beautiful little design, but just remember it's not a toy. So don't let any little girls or any little children play with it because it's not a toy and it has got some pretty small parts on it.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a fairy house out of a bookfold. So what you do is just very easy, 2 folds. So your first fold, doesn't matter what page you start on, I'm just starting because this is just stuck to there a little bit. So your first fold is you fold from the top at an angle to the spine, like this. And then you take this fold, I'm trying to get it all in so you can see it, because my book's quite tall. Then you take this one and you fold it into the spine here of the book. Now these pages are quite thick, so we want the folding to be quite sharp. So the next step is, what I do is I like a nice sharp fold at the top where the roof is. So I fold from the bottom up and then a nice crease, and then you're going to fold from the top down like this, and that'll give you a nice point. As you can see, it gives you a nice point, and then just turn that there. So you're just alternating between those 2 folds. So this one straight down and fold over, and the next one from the bottom up, and then from the top down. Like this. So this one makes the point of the roof, and this one makes the base of the house. Makes this part, makes the base of the house. So we're just going to continue doing these alternate folds. So top to the middle, and then the side in. And then bottom folded up to the top, and then the top folded down to the bottom. So as you can see, our little fairy house is starting to develop. So the top folded into the spine, to make the wall, and then fold it into the spine like this. Got a good crease. And the next one is fold it from the bottom up to the top. And from the top to the bottom. So we're just going to continue on. And this way you can see it better. Until you have this. Now I'm going to tilt it up so you can see that it really wants to join. So I'm going to cut it here. Now we're going to take this side off as well. Now please be very careful when you do this. Might have been a good idea to take this off at the beginning. Now in this joint in here, we're going to put some hot glue. Now you need to do this very quickly because hot glue, as most people know, it will set really hard, really quick. So we're just going to hold that joint and then we're going to leave that to dry. It will dry and stick quite quick. Now this is the bottom and this is our little house. So the little fairy house stands at nearly 23 inches high. Now you can decorate this any way you want. So thank you for watching. Please look out for the next tutorial. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I do need some more subscribers. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's tutorial is wedding candles. Now these candles are made from recycled books and there's a hole in the top where you can put a little candle. Now I'm going to just turn this little candle off. Now please only use battery operated candles. Do not use tea lights with a naked flame or you are going to burn the place down. Do not, this is made of paper, so do not put tea light candles in this. Only use battery operated safe candles. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this. I think the nicest way to do these is to use white paper. First of all, you need a second-hand book. Now, before anyone starts screaming that, oh my God, she's going to tear this book up, I've got 2 copies of this book and I got them for 20 pence. So that's all it was. I got it from a car boot sale. It's nice and clean and most of all, it's white paper. So, to do this tall candle, now the first thing you have to do, you're going to need a book, you're going to need a ruler, a folding tool or anything that will just score the edges of your paper when you folded them, and a pencil. Now the very first thing you need, I've got my little craft knife, my Stanley knife. First of all, let's get this candle done. It's very easy. Each candle you need about 180 pages. That's 80 folds. So 80 folds will make this size of width of candle. So the first thing you need to do is remove the spine. You can use a paperback, but you don't find very many paperbacks with white paper. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to remove the spine. So you just very carefully remove the spine of the book. So now what you need to do is just tidy up your spine. To put the candle in, so you just mark this at your 2 centimeters, and then I'm going to mark this along to 2 centimeters, and then just draw your straight line up. Now we're going to cut this square out. You have to cut that square out. Any one that you want to put. That's you finish with the ruler. And then all you do is very carefully. Now I do have a cutting mat underneath here. Right, now we've got that square cut out. When you open it, that's going to fit. Your candle's going to fit in that space. Now all you're going to do is, from this corner and using this line, just fold your page and then fold it in. Fold it into the spine. Now if you want a fatter candle, just leave it like this. So your candle's going to be about that wide. So we're going to do thin candles today. So the next step is you just fold that into there and squish it down. That's one page. Now that's all you do. So from the point up here down, and then fold in to the spine, and then do your next one. So point and down into the spine, and then fold it in again to the spine. And that's it, plain and simple. Into the spine, and then into the spine. So you just continue like that all the way, all your pages, until you've got this. So there we go. And that's it. Now there's our hole for our candle. Now all you do is you just get your glue gun, just put some glue down in there, and then close it and hold it for a few minutes as decorate your candle. Now I've got a smaller one. So, and this is the smaller one. So, I hope you have some fun making these candles. Hello everyone. Today's tutorial is a little on the large side, as you can see. Now, to make a wedding cake or a birthday cake from a book, the taller the book you use, the better. I saved this from the bin. It was going to be thrown out. So there we go. It's going to get repurposed. It's not getting binned. It's going to get made into something hopefully very stunning. Now, this book is it's about 36 centimetres. Now, when you do a wedding cake like the one at the beginning of the video, the bigger the book, the more stunning it's going to look. You can do smaller ones, it's up to you, but if you can get a big book, then it's going to be much better. So it's usually things like what the Times have done, or big road atlases and things like this. Now this book, all in, has got 416 pages. I'm not going to use this part or this part, so I'm going to draw the pattern that we need on this part. We won't need this either, but I'm not going to throw this out because I might use this for something. Now what you need to do is, to get the layers on the cakes, section the book into 3. So 3 into 36 is 12, which is perfect for me because my maths is absolutely rubbish. So what we're going to do is, we are going to mark up here, we're going to mark 12 centimeters, then it'll be 24, and then your last 12 are going to be this bottom part, so that should be 12. It's just a little shy of 12, but that is fine. Then what you have to do is you have to do it on the other side as well. It's just so that we have a little guide. So that's 12, then 24, and what we have left. Now we're going to tear this page out, so don't worry. Just use, the more pages you have to make the cake, the better. But this paper is quite thick, so it is going to do quite well for the cake. The other one I did, it only had 300 pages and it turned out really well. But you can use more, but I wouldn't use any less. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be the top layer. This is going to be the middle layer, and this is the bottom layer. So once we've drawn the lines, these are going to be our cut line. Now what you have to do is, you have to take this page and fold it into the spine. Keep your edges level here. Now just fold it into the spine. Now I don't have a bone folder. You're also going to need a pair of scissors, or you're going to need a knife. I use a Stanley knife, but you can use big scissors. Now, you folded it in half, and then we're going to fold it again. Now this is only to get the measurements for where we're going to fold the cake. Now open it back up again. The bottom section only gets folded in one quarter. The middle section gets folded in half. The top section only gets folded into 1/4. So you don't need this part. So this part here is going to get cut out. I'll see if I can move it along a bit. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut halfway in. Cut halfway in and cut 3/4 way in here. So we need to leave these two. This part we're going to cut away. Now we don't need that, throw that away. Now this is what you've got left with. When you start to fold your book, you will fold this part to here. This one will be folded to here, and this one is only folded to there. So that is the pattern. This is our pattern. So what we have to do is we have to cut through these pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pencil. Now that's a cut line. So that's a cut line. And this one we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that, and we're going to cut that. And we're going to cut that. So this is the pattern we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my book around this way. It is quite large. I'm going to take my cutting mat. I'm going to pop my cutting mat underneath the book. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down here, this line. So we're going to cut that one. And we're going to cut this section out. Just one cut and then cut this section out so that we are left with this pattern. So we're going to cut here and cut here. That one will fold over to there. This part will fold. This one will fold right over to here. And once we've cut this one will fold to here. I'll show you that in a few minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut some of these pages. And there's one more thing that you need to do. You need to make a little notch so that you can see where to fold this one to. This one, I need to fold further up to there. What am I doing? Sorry about that. You need to cut up to here. This is so that you can fold the page. So you can fold it like that. Should do. So the width of this is where we need to make a little notch here. You can either take a pencil and mark a line, I've got myself a little serrated knife and I am just going to cut I'm going to cut a little notch. You won't see it because it's the bottom of the book. and you'll see why in a moment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. So here we are, here's our book all ready to fold. Now it's really simple. It's really simple to follow now. We've got our little notch here. You can see your little notch that I put there. I broke my nails as well, so I've had a bit of a disastrous day today. Your first part here, just fold up to the spine. Just make sure it's level with your book here and crease it down. This one, the centre one, gets folded right into the spine as well. If you fold your centre in first and then fold this over, it gives a nice clean little line when the book's all folded. Then this one only gets folded quarter way to that little mark that we made. Do you remember the little mark? That little notch? Now just make sure you keep it flush with this side of the book and fold. And that's it. So that gives us the shape. That gives us this shape. And that's the steps to your cake. So we'll just do the next one. Move it up a little bit so you can see it all in. Remember our little notches here for this part. So fold the middle. Fold your top. It just keeps that part flush with that and it lets you get your edge straight here. And then fold this one to your little notch that you have. And keep it flush with the bottom. And that's it. That is basically your folds for your cake. So the hardest part is just working out your steps. So this one gets folded in 1/4, this one gets folded in half, and this one is folded in 3/4 of the way. So I'll just do a few more folds. Now this is our huge book fold all finished. So when we stand it up, this is what we've got. If you can see it. Now I'll show you the rest of it in a little minute, but I want to point something out. When you do your book fold in such a big book, when you try to put it together, you're going to notice that this side is shorter than this side. So when we did our book folding, this is where we started from this side. and it's had a much longer chance to curl in tighter. So when we go to glue it, you need to use some hot glue or something that's really strong. Now when we go to glue it, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take quite a bit of this book and we're going to have to pull it over like this. So you have to push this end in, and that brings your pages neat. I've got a few folds that I need to fix here. There are a few that are just stick out a bit. But so what I'm going to do is I am going to hot glue halfway down the book and then I'm going to turn it around. But before I do that, I'm going to pull my camera out so you could see this cake. Now this is how big this cake is. Okay everyone, so let's get this project finished off. So remember what I said about this part. When I put the hot glue in, I'm going to have to pull it like this to get these evened up. You won't see this part anyway, so I'm going to get my hot glue gun and I'm going to put some glue a quarter of the way down, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it upside down. I lost my glue stick. So please be careful with the hot glue because it is hot. Now I'm just going to turn it upside down and put some glue on the bottom. It doesn't take long for hot glue. I'm just going to put it down here. It doesn't take long for hot glue to dry. So I'm just going to squish some in here and pull the pages together and make sure they're level like we did at the top. And then I'm going to turn it around, and then you just have to spend some time and fluff up the pages. It does fluff up really well as long as you've done at least a book with 400 odd pages. Now this is all fluffed up and this is the cake. Now to decorate the cake, I've just put some silk flowers down. You can decorate your cake whatever way you want, it's your cake. Now this is a smaller one that I made. I just used a smaller book. It was still over 400 folds though. The edging I've put around, I made the lace edging with a Martha Stewart punch. Now you can decorate them any way you want. You can decorate them for babies, boys and girls. I'd like to thank all my subscribers who have subscribed so far, and I'd like to thank everyone for watching the video. You're going to need a book that's around 400 odd pages. That should give you about 200 folds. So you just start at the beginning of your book. We're going to tear the cover off, the spine and the back. But first of all, we'll just start folding. Okay, so to do this book fold, it's only 2 folds that you need to use for this phase. So the first one, you're going to fold it up to the spine and make a triangle like this. And then you're going to take this corner here and you're going to fold it up like a cone. Just fold it up into the spine like this. Now this part here, fold it over your page and then tuck it in here like this. So you've got a nice flat top to your vase. The next one, take from the top and bring it down to the spine. Make your triangle this way, and then take this corner and fold it up in line with this line here. So just fold it in line with that. Just crease it down, and then take this point and fold it up to this little corner of this part here. Now this should keep your vase all nice and even, and then just turn that over, and then you go back to the first fold, so you're folding from the bottom into the spine, and then make your cone, like that. Fold it over it down at the top just to give it a crease, and then tuck it in. So you're tucking it in here. You're tucking it inside here. It's not going behind there. And then tuck it in. And your next fold, you fold from the top down to the bottom, from the top down to here, then take this corner and fold it up to this line, and then fold your point over to this corner here, just where this little corner meets this part here. And then that's what it's going to look like. So that gives you your shape. So there's your top of your vase, and then there's your little part in and down. And that's it. It's just two simple folds. So I'm going to continue folding up some of these pages. So this is our book fold all finished. Now all you have to do is really persevere when you get to the end of your book, because the front of your book is going to curl in a lot quicker than the back where you've just finished folding. So you need to fold it in as much as you can. Just keep doing the best you can to get it into that spine. And then with this one, I don't need to glue it because it's actually really quite tight. But if yours is quite slack, then just put some hot glue in and then just glue it closed. And then all you need to do is just flip it all up the best you can. If you just keep fiddling around with it like this, it's going to close that gap up like that. So there we go. This is vase number 2. So all I need to do is put some flowers down in the top. You can cover the top with it as well. And then that's it. And that's your vase. So that's a base all done. And the more you fluff it up, the more all these parts will all just come in together. Now all you have to do is pop some flowers on the top, and I'll show you that at the end. Now I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I'd also like to thank everyone who's been subscribing to my channel. As always, I always like to thank all my subscribers who take that few extra minutes just to either open a Google account to subscribe, or if they have one already, then to subscribe to my channel. I really, really do appreciate it. and also to all the people who take time just to watch the videos. I do hope that they're helping some people make some crafting items, or if it's a crafting thing that you haven't tried before, I really do hope that it helps someone to learn a new type of craft.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So you're going to need a book that has at least 600 pages, at least 600 readable pages. This one has 618. You're going to need a ruler, a pen, and a knife, a sharp knife of some sort to cut your paper. First thing to do is we're going to take the book, this part of the spine off, and this cover. So just open your book. I'm just going to cut it from where it's actually opened itself up to. Just slide your knife in and cut down like that. Some are easier to get off than others. Believe you me, this one's easy. And I'm just going to put my knife in this side and run it down. You can tidy that up later. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to find the centre of the book, just around where it says 300. So that'll be fine to do the spindle. So just slice that down the middle like that. Keep this part, you're going to need that for the roof. So to do the spindle in the base of the carousel, all you need to do is get your ruler, put it against the spine of your book like this. Doesn't have to be 100%. So put your ruler down near the spine. Don't put it on the top of this thick gluey part. Put it to the side of it, just so that gluey part is still at the edge there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line, just like that. Do the same here. Line your ruler up with the base of your book, the base of the pages. Now what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line from here, from where you made that mark, like that. The next step is find your halfway point from here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You need to find the halfway point here. So this is about 3.5. I'm going to go just to this 2. I'm going 2 centimeters here and mark it, and then draw a line that's going to match up with this line. This is where you're going to cut. Don't cut that part. What you're going to do is you're going to cut from there all the way to there, and you're going to cut from the top all the way down. You're going to cut all that off. So you're going to cut here and cut this line. I'm going to zoom back up again. So all of these pages, put your ruler down. I'm only going to do a few pages to show you what to do. So just put your knife in this point here. Don't cut from there. No, you're not going to cut. You need to leave that part there open. This is going to fold over to make the spindle, and this part here is going to fold over to make the base. So cut from your halfway point through your book. Make sure you've got a mat. Make sure you've got a mat down. Now turn it this way. straighten you up a little bit. Now you're going to cut from here down to here. From here down to there. All the way through your book. Don't worry if it's not too neat, because that's going to get folded in. So you're going to take those pages out. Take the pages out that you've cut, and I'm going to roughly show you what you have to do. So I've cut through some of the papers. I've still got the rest of these to cut. Cut all of this away. Cut it all away. So to make the spindle part and the base all together, what you're going to do now is you're going to fold it. So remember and cut all of this away. So to make the spindle and the base of the carousel, what you're going to do is, I'll cut all of these off. I'll cut the rest of that away. So you're going to take your page and you're going to fold it into the spine. So fold this part into the spine. But remember, we cut it here, so remember and cut up this little part that we marked. Score that down, and this part you're only going to fold to here. Make sure it lines up on the bottom so that your carousel will stand straight, and then just fold that one up. Now we'll do the next one. So you take this part, fold it into the spine, score it really well, then take this part of the bottom and fold it to here. Only fold it to there. And then do your next one. And that is going to give you your spindle. It's looking a little wonky just now, but the more once you've got the rest of it all folded up. Now I'm down to my last few folds. It gets a little bit difficult here, but just do the best you can and just fold in your half page and then fold in your end like this. So what it's going to do is, I'm going to lift my camera up as much as I can here. So what it's going to do is it's going to go around like this. You're going to put some hot glue down the spine, and this is going to join your two halves together once I've got these last few pages done. That is going to give you the spindle part of your carousel. Now I've got my book cut in half. This is the other half of the book. Any little edges like this, just take your scissors and neaten it up. Did not bad with that actually. So you can put this side, you can put this part aside and use it for something else. Now all you do now is very simple. Just take your page and fold it down the spine. Just like that. I know it's longer than the page, just leave that. Because what that's going to do is, it's going to make that long area of the canopy of the roof. That's this part. I've did the same with this one. And that is going to make your roof. So I told you this was a very simple thing to make. So you're going to fold all your pages, just fold them like this, until you folded all of them. Okay, so I've got my roof done, and I've now got my pedestal done. I've now got the pedestal end done as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this into the round spindle that I need, and I'm going to glue the roof. So I'll do the roof first. So I've got my hot glue gun, so I'm going to put some hot glue down into this spine area here. Just be very careful, because the glue is exactly that, very, very hot. So take a little handful of papers on each side and pull your roof together so it lines up here. And then just squish it, just hold it together. It doesn't take long for the hot glue to set at all. So all you need to do is just fluff up your roof. So that's the roof of the carousel done. Now you just have to fluff it up just a little bit, just to get it all symmetrical. It will go around. Just play around with it just to get that joint to disappear. And there you go, that's the roof done. So now for the spindle end, I'm going to do exactly the same for the spindle. I'm going to put some hot glue down in the spine. Make sure I've got enough in. And then again, just pull it round so it matches. So each side is the same. I'm going to hold it just for a few minutes. Doesn't take long at all. And that is the spindle of the carousel done. So what you have to do now is, I need to try and get this to go higher. So what we need to do now is we need to put some glue on here, and then we're going to set the roof of the carousel on like this. We're going to glue it in this position. So here's my carousel all finished. We've got the roof on and the spindle on the base is all in one. But this is how you get your basic carousel. You can decorate them any way you want. So I'm going to show you how I made the horses. I've got this all glued together. I will show you the whole thing. It's a little bit big now. Now, to do the horses for the carousel, I just use these these little skewer sticks. I looked on Google for some pictures of horses. Now, please remember, if you're using any pictures on Google, if you're going to sell the item you make sure the picture does not have a copyright. Make sure it's a free picture that you can use. So I'm not selling this one, so I've just downloaded myself a little picture of a horse. What I did was I printed it off facing that way and facing that way. I've cut them out. I'm going to glue them, two of them together. Now I'm going to glue it onto my stick. I'm just going to make sure I've got it in the right place. To go around here a little bit, this horse. Now just put a little bit of hot glue in the centre there, a little splash there to hold that part. Glue your horse to your stick, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the stick down into here and up inside. We're going to put it up inside the roof. So you just find one of your folded over pages and it'll just sit nicely in there. So just fold it, push it into the groove, push it in upside up into the roof. Maybe need to move it over a wee bit. There you go. And that'll hold it. You can put a little bit of hot glue down in there to hold the stick. So all it leaves me to say is thank you for watching. A big thank you to all the people who have watched all my tutorials. An extra thank you to all the people who take a few extra minutes just to subscribe to my channel. It gives my channel great moral support. So please subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment in the bottom and give the tutorial a thumbs up. So until the next time, happy crafting. I'll see you all again. So goodbye. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful hot air balloon with a book. You just need to use an old book. I've done this one as a wedding theme, so let's get started. Now to begin with, we need a book that has 280 pages, and then remove the front cover and the back and mark down 2 centimeters from the top and 2 centimeters across from the top left hand corner. Join these two dashes together like this because we need to cut this corner out. So once the balloon's made and we turn it upside down, this is the area where you're going to put your battery operated tea light. So get yourself a craft knife, or I use a Stanley knife, and just cut through all those 280 pages. And this is what we're left with. So now we have our 280 pages. By the time we fold this, it will bulk up quite big. So that's why we're only using 280 pages. So your first fold is keep it in line with this where you've cut. So when you cut this out, make sure you cut it out nice and neat. Then just fold this and crease it. Now use your little bone folder or anything that you use because you need really sharp folds. So what you're going to do is, the easiest thing I found is to do this through all of your pages, or do a good few to begin with.
you can either do the whole book, the whole amount of pages that you need, or do about 10 or 12 at a time. So once you've done this fold, you need to fold your page in to the spine and crease it. Now this is the way you do the candles as well. And then fold it into the spine again. So this is a double spine fold, the way you make your candles. So I call this the double spine fold. Now the next fold, you fold once into the spine. Now this is your alley fold. You fold once into the spine, just once into the spine, turn your book. Now can you see, this is why I've done a few pages, can you see this part here? Now what you're going to do is, you're going to put your finger firmly where this joint here is. So put your finger firmly there, and then fold this end. Can you see this part of it? You're going to fold this up to meet that there. And then bring this to a point, like this. And that's your alley fold done. Now fold that up. So then we're going to do your double spine fold again. So we do your double spine fold. Now when you put this one up, you have to fold the corner of this tall one. Fold the corner flush with your spine folded one. So you have this. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So this is the alley fold, up to the spine. Now put your finger here, where this ends, where this one is. Put your finger there and fold. Fold this up to this little part that's here. Can you see this piece here? Fold it along that line and then push it back. Then do your double spine fold again. And then fold this corner down. So what you're starting to develop is this shape. Now we'll begin again with the alley fold. Now fold it to this point here. Can you see this? This is what we're using as a guide. We're using this part here. So you're going to hold it here and fold to there, and then fold along like that. And then fold it up. Then do your double spine fold. And then fold this one down to meet this one. Put your finger here. Up to the spine, and then put your finger where this one underneath is. This triangle goes up to here. Use that as a guide. Put your finger there and fold it to there, and then pull this down, and it comes to this one here. And fold it to a point. Fold it up. Then do your double spine fold. And then fold this edge down. Now once you've done that to all your pages, you can see it developing. Once you finish folding all your pages, what you have to do is you have to glue it together so that it makes a ball. So down the joint, you just put some hot glue deep inside into the joint, and then close up your book. So you need to just close up your spine. It doesn't take long for the glue to set. And there we are. That's you got your ball of your balloon. Now here's the finished balloon. For the basket I've just used a box. I've popped some ribbons around this area of the balloon. I've put some trim on, just around here. The struts are dowling peg doweling wood with pages from the book wrapped around it, and then I've just glued it into the balloon and into the basket. Around the top of the basket I've just put some of the other trim that I had on the top of the balloon, and around the basket I've put some Diamante ribbon that I've had. I will show you the balloon from further away, but I'll have to take the camera down to show it to you. So this is the balloon from a distance. It is quite large, as you can see, and please excuse the mess of my basket over there. That's all the odds and ends for my crafting. Now I do hope you give this a little go. I'm going to show you some of the pictures of it in the dark with the battery operated tea light. The battery operated tea light goes up under that notch that we cut out of the paper. I just put double-sided sticky tape on the underside of the tea light and I popped it up inside there. It's not too far and it holds really well. It does make quite a nice night light. You can change this for a nursery as well. Now thank you for watching. I'd like to thank all my subscribers.
Hello again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this super little Christmas cracker tabletop. Now this little decoration is made out of the same fold as the candles that are on my tutorial, with just one or two little snips added in with your scissors. Now I'm going to quickly show you how to do this, get a little jump on Christmas. So if you're an early starter for your Christmas decorations, especially if you do craft fairs and things at Christmas, or if you're a school and you want to sell something just slightly different for your craft fair to make yourself some buns for your crafting. So here we go, and welcome back to my channel. Now the first thing you need to do is you get yourself a large hardback book. Now I got these from the charity shop and they were only about 20p each. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the hardback cover off. I'm going to keep that nice page. I like keeping those coloured pages. So just use a craft knife or a Stanley knife and just gently and carefully cut through there and flip it over. These are nice for making paper flowers. If you make the paper flowers, it's on my tutorial as well. You can use these nice coloured pages for it. And I'm going to cut through here. Cut that off like that. So that's the first stage done. So now you need to tidy up your spine a little bit. Just tear off all this stuff that's going to sort of stop it from curling properly. I'll just take this loose page off. So to do both the cracker and the candle, the first thing I always say is fold until you're happy with it. So just fold until you're happy. So I've just gone up to page 200 and I'm going to cut it out. Now, it's like I said, you might not use this many, just fold until you're happy. Right, so here we are, I've got my 200 pages. I've just cut that out. Now to make the cracker, it's super easy. It's just the same almost as doing the candle. Turn your book this way so all your pages are here. Now just start folding into the spine. Just like that. and then fold again. And that's it. Now, you can just use the edge of a pair of scissors just to score your page down. Now, the amount of folds that you do will depend on how thick your paper is. If your paper's quite thick, you won't need so many folds. So that is why I say a lot of the time, just fold until you're happy with it. Because a lot of books have got thinner paper than others. Now, the quickest and easiest way to do the cracker and the Christmas log is just fold your pages first. Fold it into the spine. So it's just two simple folds. Fold up to the spine, fold your page in half, and then fold again. So I'm going to fold the rest of my pages and see how many I can get done. And I'll come back when I'm happy with the amount I've got folded. Okay? I've got to page 101 just, and I'm not going to manage to fold anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stanley knife and I'm just going to cut these excess papers off. I've already put my knife down through there already. So just carefully take your Stanley knife down and take those pages away. And just flip it until it goes round. Now, if you manage to do more than me, you might not need to glue it at all. But if you're going to glue it, you're going to find your ends, and if you've got a great big discrepancy between your pages, what you're going to do is, when you put your glue in, grab a bundle here and pull it so that it's level with that one, like that. So what that does is it pulls these ones that you folded first, it pulls them out of the spine area and levels it up with the other ones. So just keep giving them a little pull, and that'll help to flip it all up. The beginning and end is just lay it flat. Now what you're going to do is get a ruler and just line it up with a 0. Find your halfway point. So mine is 9 inches. We can do it in centimetres. It'll be easier. So my book's 23 centimetres, and obviously the taller the book, the bigger the cracker's going to be. And you can do this with smaller ones. So half of 23 is 11 and a half. So I'm going to mark this at 11 and a half. Now I'm doing it with a pen, just so that you can see it. Now draw a line down this first one. Now half that section should be about 11 and a half. So half of 11 and a half is 5 and a half and a wee bit. So I'm just going to go with the 5 and a half centimetres. Make sure you line it up with your 0 though. draw a line down there, do the same at the other side, so we're just going to go with 5.5 centimetres. So basically you're chopping your little page into 4. So divide it into 4 equal sections. Now these 2 sections here, what you're going to do is, if you want, you can mark out a centimetre this way and a centimetre that way. And the same here. Just mark out a centimetre this way and a centimetre that way. So that's there. And there. Now what you do is go from that mark there up to here. It's up to you how shallow or how much of a depth you want it. So I'm just going halfway down there. Three now. So I'm just going to count 2 centimetres there and 2 centimetres there. So the first thing to do, mark your page in half and then section it in half again. Mark down halfway on this one and halfway on that one. Now mark out a centimetre here and here and a centimetre here and here. Now you're going to join them up from that mark to your centimetre mark there and that mark to that centimetre. This is going to be your little cutout area. You only need to do this with this one, but don't worry, we're going to rip this one out once we're finished with it. So you end up with this. Now what you're going to do is, make sure all your little folds are all nice and even the way you want them. If you've got any that are sticking out, go back to it and tuck it in. So if you've got any that's a little too far out, then tuck it in. So what you're going to do is, you're going to cut that notch out on that fold, like that. Cut that notch out. You can use a pencil. I'm just using a pen so you can see it. You can fold these back if you want. You can cut down here and fold them in. But I think it makes it a bit bulky. It's much neater if you do this. Now all you're going to do is lift your next page up, lift your next fold up, and cut it using that one as the template, like that. And the same here, do them one at a time. So then we're going to, you can either tear that one away, it's up to you. We're going to put that one there, and then we're going to use this to cut the next one. So you're going to carry on doing that all the way around your cracker. Now this is what you're left with once you've cut your notches out. What you can do is, what I've done is, I cut a little bit extra off here and off here, just to give it a more cracker shape. All you need to do is put some ribbon around your joints here, and that's it. But try and keep this end and this end here the same thickness. Now when you do one, you want to do more, and the more you do, the better you'll get at this. Once you've cut your notches out, if you're not too happy with it, just go around it with your scissors. But now I'm going to show you what to do if you want to put a candle in, if you want to use this as a tabletop centre. So to put a candle in, it's really, really easy. All you do is hold it where you want it. This is the way I found it's the most quickest. And just cut down there and cut down that side of it. Now all you need to do is the one that you've cut down. It's only about a half an inch wide. So you're going to cut that little oblong out of that one. Just use that one as a template again. Cut another little notch out. A couple more. I'm just going to eyeball it. There we go. So your candle's going to sit in there. Just like that. If you've got a taller book, you can get 2 candles in. Now all I need to do is, I'm just going to tie a ribbon around my cracker. Trim that one. Trim that at an angle. We just tie this one in a quick bow as well. But make sure it is only battery operated candles that you use in these. You don't want it going on fire. Just trim that one at an angle. Trim that at an angle. Get rid of all this here. Keep that away, we don't need that. Put a little candle in. And there you go. You've got your little Christmas cracker, all made from a book. So give it a little try. So get a little heads up on Christmas and start making some of these. These are great to make for Christmas fairs and things. Now just judge it yourself when you're folding, like I said, and then just trim your edges until you're happy with it. A lot of the time you don't need an awful lot of measurements, just go with what you feel looks really, really nice. It's up to you. So there you go. So give that a little try.
everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now today, in Plenty of Time for Christmas, I'm going to show you how to use some old books and make them into Christmas trees. Now this is just some pages that I've had left from some of my other book folds. Now, or what you can do is just fold until you can't fold anymore, until the tree looks really nice and it suits you. Now it's quite simple. Each one has got two quite simple folds. The first fold is the triangle fold. Don't fold too close into the spine because you want to be able to fold your page over, especially when you first start this. Now a nice crisp, just give it a really good crease here. So once you've done that triangle fold with the same page, do what I call a cone fold. Now just fold it into the top here and then crease down here. Now this part that's sticking over the edge of the book, just give it a little crease like that and tuck it under here. Just tuck it up on here, just like that. Now we've done this cone fold but the other way with some of the other folds we've done, and that's it. Now that's all you need to do, is just keep folding and folding until you are happy with your Christmas tree. The more folds you've got on it, obviously the more dense the Christmas tree is going to be. Now when you've done this shape, you can also turn it into an angel. I'll show you that in another tutorial though. So all you do is just keep folding your pages over. Do your triangle fold first and then your cone fold, and then your cone fold, and then just crease the edge here, tuck it under there and turn your page over. Now what you're going to get is, you're going to get this nice little triangle shape, and when it's all round it's going to look absolutely lovely, just like the one I showed you at the beginning. So I'm just going to keep folding my pages over, and when I've done all my pages I'll show you how I decorated it. Now the decoration is up to yourself. Now this is quite a quick tutorial. That's all you do: triangle fold, kite fold, crease the bottom over, tuck it in and fold it over, and that's you. Now I'm going to just do a few more pages and then I'll show you my completed Christmas tree. So this is what the book looks like, almost complete. I've got a few more pages to do. Now I've got more pages than I need. So it's like I said earlier, it depends on how thick your pages are to how many folds you're going to need. Because as you can see, this one's going around very, very well. So just keep folding until you are happy with your tree. So I'm just going to continue folding some more pages. So here is the finished Christmas tree. Now this is 120 folds. That is 240 readable pages. What you need to do is just keep folding until you cannot fold anymore. Now the joint in my book here, I don't need to put any hot glue in it because it's actually closing itself. And once you've fluffed it all up, it looks really pretty and it doesn't need any glue. But if you've got a joint that, wait I find mine, if you've got a joint that doesn't meet, what you need to do is you need to get a hot glue gun or some other type of glue, strong glue, put it down inside the spine and then pull pull it together like this to get it even, and then glue it in, and then that'll keep its place on there. Now don't worry about the top being a little bit odd, that's just your folding. The more you make of these, the better your folding's going to be. Now what I'm going to do with this one is, I've got the lid of a coffee jar. I'm going to glue it onto the bottom here like this, and it's a nice pretty red for Christmas. So I'm going to glue that on, so it's going to give my tree a little bit of height away from the ground, so that it actually sits a little bit better. You don't need to do that, but I'm going to do that because I think it looks better all over anyway. So I'm going to decorate this, and I'll be back once I've done the decorating. So I won't take too long, and I'll see you in a few minutes. My Christmas tree on the lid of the coffee jar. So I've glued the lid of the coffee jar onto the bottom of my tree, and I need to leave that to dry. But what I'm also going to show you is what I'm going to decorate the tree with. My sister Sandra made these beautiful little lace things. Now I am going to join two of them together, and I'm going to put it on the top of my tree. I'm going to put it on the top of my tree like that. And I'll show you that once I've got it done. What else I have? I've got myself a string of pearls. I'm going to wrap the pearls around the Christmas tree in a sort of diagonal manner. At the bottom, I'm going to hope that I can get some little hoops at the bottom. I'm going to just decorate it with the pearls and with these. Now, my sister Sandra that made these, you'll find Sandra, her name is Sandra McRae, and she is on our Crafty Twins Facebook page. Now, she does sell these. I can't remember what she takes for them, but she gave me these anyway as a gift. So thank you, Sandra. I've also got some of this gold trim that has diamantes on it. If you can just see that glittering away there. I think that'll look quite pretty wrapped around. I'm not going to put too much on the tree because, as they say, less is more. So I'm going to put it along with the pearls, and I'm going to put it around the tree like that. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to put anything else on it. I've even got these. These are actually for a wedding. Well, they're not for a wedding. They're actually to put in your hair if you're getting married or at a party or a prom. Now, it's just a little string of beads that's on this little invisible wire. And you could put something like that around your Christmas tree as well. So that's going to look very pretty as well. But that's just a few ideas of how to decorate your Christmas tree. Now I'm going to get this one decorated, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. But I do need to give it a little bit of time to stick to that stand. I do want it to stick to that stand. It is sticking already, but I want it to stick a little better. So I'll be back shortly to show you how my Christmas tree turned out. Now here is my little Christmas tree all finished. I need to try and zoom out on this because the Christmas tree is quite tall. Sorry if I turn you that way, at least you can see what it looks like. All of it like that. Now I put these on the top, and all I've done is put the little string of pearls around the tree with the diamantes. Now that's all I did. I didn't do any more than that because, as they say, less is more. I'm going to turn the camera that way to get this whole look. Sorry about that. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now, do you remember on the video I did for the vases, one of the vases we ripped these strips off the pages, and I told you I was going to show you how to make these little flowers with the strips of paper, so you don't need to waste the paper. Now this is one I did from coloured paper. Now this one is made from the book paper. The only downside to this is you get a little dirty, so please forgive my fingers being a little ink. Now all you do is once you've made your flower, you can just pop a little gem on here, or you can put a button on. It's up to yourself, whatever way you want to do this. So I'm just going to set these aside and I'm going to show you what to do. What you're going to need is the strips of paper that you took from your book, or what you can do is, as long as your square of paper is the same, as long as it's a proper square, that means like 2 by 2, 3 inch by 3 inch, 4 inch by 4 inch, you can go up to as big a square as you want. But I'm going to show you how to use up these strips of paper or any old pages that you have from doing your book folding. Now I'm going to do 2 at a time, it's going to be a little bit quicker. Now what you need to do is, to get your nice little square, is you just take your straight edge here and then just fold it up like this. So you've got a nice little neat triangle. Now get your scissors and then just cut those 2 little triangles off. Just do the same to your other side. Just make yourself a little triangle, so that gives you a nice little perfect square when you open this up. And because we tore all these sheets off, they're all the same width. They're all about 3. This is about 2.5 inches by 2.5, maybe 3 inches. As long as it's square, that's all you need to know. As long as it's square, doesn't matter what size they are, as long as they're squares. Now I'm not even going to waste these parts either. I'm going to do the same with these. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. There we go. So I'm just going to get rid of all these little scraps. So once you've got all your little squares, I'm going to put these aside. So just keep cutting these into all these little squares, the way I've showed you. And then once you've got yourself a whole big load of squares, now each flower, I make my flowers with six pieces. So you need 6 squares. You need 6 squares for each flower. Now what you're going to do next is, you take your square and fold it in half. You're just going to fold it up into a triangle. So you're starting with your square. So you start with your square and fold it up into a triangle. I'm going to do this quite slow so that you can be able to follow along. So take this corner here and we're going to fold it up to here. So take this corner and fold it up to there, like that. And take this corner and fold it up to here. Now once you've done quite a few of these, it's going to be really, really easy. So this is what you have now. So that's your triangle, and you're folding these ends up back into a little square. Now what you're going to do with these are, you see these little pocket parts? just push them open and push it down like this. Okay, now this part, just fold it back in on itself like that. So just fold that little triangle back. So fold that little triangle back and then close that part up. So just close that part up. So I'll show you again on this side. So just open this side up like this and squish it down. So you've got a little kite shape. Now fold back your little point. So fold that in and then fold it over like that. So what you're going to do is, this becomes your first leaf. Now what you need to do is get your glue. Now just some normal PVA glue will be fine. Now just run a little bit of glue just along here, like this. Fold it over. Don't squash this end, don't squash it. You can either just hold it until it sticks, or I just stick a little pin on the end to hold it. Now I'm going to show you that again. So you've got your square, fold it into a triangle, take your corner up to the top point and fold it like that. Take this corner and fold it up to this point, just like this. Then open up this part and just squash it down and fold this top kite part back and then fold it in like that. Now again, just flatten that out, fold that part back. So fold your little kite part back and then fold that in. So you have, it should be like this. Now all you're going to do is gently roll it over into a little triangle. Put a little piece of glue down in here, just on the edge, on the inside edge. Just gently squeeze it. Stick your clip on to hold it, like that. So what you're going to have, you're going to have a little bundle of these. So just take the clips off when it's dry. It only takes a few minutes to dry, enough to keep it closed. So that's you got all your petals. So this is what you're aiming for, is this. Now all you have to do is just rewind the video and just go forward step by step. So once you learn how to do those little leaves, you're all set. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to do 6. I'm going to take one of these. I'm just going to show you that it doesn't take very long for these to dry at all. That's that one dry. So now, this is a little fiddly bit. What you're going to do is you're going to glue all these together so it becomes like this. Okay, so you just take one of your little flowers. Now what I did is I did it 2 at a time. Now down the side put a little bit of glue and then glue this one on. Now this is the fiddly bit, and this is the bit that makes you a little sticky and grubby. Now just hold it. Now the PVA glue, because it's going onto the paper, doesn't take very long to stick. So stick two together and then put your glue on the side and then glue another one on. It's a lot easier to do it in sets. Now you can do 5, but I think the flower looks better with 6. So just set that aside there. Now I'm going to glue the last one. Just stick them together as well. Now just sit that down there. Now what you're going to do is, this is the most fiddly part. We've got to join these 6 together like this. So you need some glue down this side and this side. And then do the same to this one. And the same to this one. I'm just going to set my glue aside there. Now what you need to do now is, oops, you need to stick these 6 together like this. Now this is the fiddliest part. Now I found if you stick the point down in between your fingers, then that'll let you get your little petals nice and even. Now the more of these you do, the better you're going to get. So all you need to do is just hold it. Just fluffing these down a little bit. Doesn't take long for the glue to start to set. So you just hold it for a little bit. And there you go. Now I'm just going to set that aside to dry off. And this is what you get. That's the one we've just done. And that's the one I done earlier. Now that is what you can make with all your little scraps of paper. So you're not wasting them. You can actually do these with a book as well. You can just, as long as your paper's square, get the straw on. All you need to do is just take a little piece of paper and you just need to roll it. Or use a little straw. Just roll yourself a little piece of paper like that. And then just trim it. So we're just going to make a little stalk with it. There you go. So we just make a little stalk, and then all you need to do is just push it inside here where all these little joints are. So you just stick it into the bottom, and that gives you a little stalk to put your flower on. And then all you need to do is just get yourself either an old button you can glue a button on like that. You can put a little diamante on like that. I've even got a one that's a different shape. So it's up to yourself how you decorate the top of these, or you can just leave it like that. It looks pretty like that as well. So there we go, little paper flowers made from all your scrap paper from your book. Now give it a little go. Now, I haven't mentioned my sister Sandra in the past few videos that I've made, but I'm going to mention her now. It was my sister Sandra that showed me how to make these. I couldn't get them to stick together properly and mine's looked absolutely hideous, but I was putting too many petals on it. And my sister Sandra showed me how to do it correctly. So thanks very much to Sandra for that. So there you go everyone, give this a little try. You can make it in any type of paper you want, or even very light card. It's up to yourself. Now I'd like to thank all my subscribers, as I always do, and to everyone else who watches my videos. Now just give this a little try. Pop them on the top of your paper vases that you've made as well. Make them big, make big ones, make small ones. It's up to yourself. But that is how you make the paper flowers from the scraps of paper from your book folding. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's tutorial is this super teapot or kettle. It's a little large, so it's not even going to fit into the frame. This is 23 inches high. It's the height of a 23-inch book. I've also got this. I'll move the teapot out of the way. I've got this beautiful little book folded cup as well. I just put some ribbon on it. I'll show you how to do this in another tutorial because it is going to take a little while to show you how to do the teapot. So to do the teapot, you need 140 folds. That's 280 pages. Now in a previous video, I had a really thick book that I used part of it, and this is just some of the papers that I had left. To get this nice round shape here, you have to cut a groove. Now you can put a battery operated tea light in there if you like. Now you need to measure 2 centimeters down, 2 centimeters down and 2 centimeters across, and then just join these lines up. And then get yourself a craft knife or a Stanley knife, because that's what I use, and then just cut this corner out. So cut it out like this. So these are the pages that I need. So once again, you need 280 pages, a book with at least 280 pages. So that's what you need to make the teapot. Because of the way it's folded, it really bulks it up. Now, I've never seen on any of the YouTube channels or Facebook this fold to make this shape. Now I'm calling this the alley fold because it's a fold that I've devised I came across it. I haven't seen it anywhere else unless somebody else tells me otherwise. So I'm calling this fold the alley fold. So to do the alley fold, that'll make the either a coffee pot or teapot, whatever way you want. If you use a smaller book, you'll obviously get a smaller teapot. So the way you start it is, you take the hard cover or the paperback cover off your book. So you've just got your pages. These are my 280 pages that I need. So to start this off, first of all, I need to try and get it in so you can see it. Now this is the part we cut out to make the little fancy top on it. If you don't do that, you're going to get a very sharp dome point, and I don't think it looks so nice. So your first fold is, keep it in line with this where you've cut. So when you cut this out, make sure you cut it out nice and neat. Then just fold this and crease it. Now use your little bone folder or anything that you use, because you need really sharp folds. So what you're going to do is, the easiest thing I found is to do this through all of your pages, or do a good few to begin with. You can either do the whole book, the whole amount of pages that you need, or do about 10 or 12 at a time. So once you've done this fold, you need to fold your page in to the spine and crease it. Now this is the way you do the candles as well. And then fold it into the spine again. So this is a double spine fold, the way you make your candles. So I call this the double spine fold. Now the next fold, you fold once into the spine. Now this is your alley fold. You fold once into the spine, just once into the spine. Turn your book. Now can you see, this is why I've done a few pages, can you see this part here? Now what you're going to do is, you're going to put your finger firmly where this joint here is. So put your finger firmly there, and then fold this end. Can you see this part of it? You're going to fold this up to meet that there. And then bring this to a point, like this. And that's your alley fold done. Now fold that up. So then we're going to do your double spine fold again. So we do your double spine fold. Now when you put this one up, you have to fold the corner of this tall one. Fold the corner flush with your spine folded one. So you have this. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So this is the alley fold. Up to the spine. Now put your finger here, where this ends, where this one is. Put your finger there and fold. fold this up to this little part that's here. Can you see this piece here? Fold it along that line and then push it back. Then do your double spine fold again. And then fold this corner down. So what you're starting to develop is this shape. And what that does, that makes this, as you can see. So you can see it a little clearly because it's higher up. It's in line with this here when you fold it. And then you're folding it up like that. So I'll do a few more. So we have to turn our book and just do some of these little triangle folds again. Now we'll begin again with the alley fold. Now fold it to this point here. Can you see this? This is what we're using as a guide. We're using this part here. So you're going to hold it here and fold to there and then fold along like that. And then fold it up. Then do your double spine fold. And then fold this one down to meet this one. Now once you've done that to all your pages, you can see it developing. Now once you've finished with all your folds for your teapot, you have to put some hot glue down inside the spine. And then you close it round. But if you've got enough folds like I have, you actually don't need to put the glue in. So that's has got our teapot, the body. Then what you need to do is I cut out I just freehand cut out the shape of a handle, and I just cut a freehand shape of a spout. Now this is 3 pages all glued together, and so is this. So you need to cut 3 out and then glue them all together so that your handle's quite stiff. Then what you need to do is you need to find a position on the body to put your handle. So you need to glue your handle in. Just get your hot glue gun and then just glue your handle in. And then you need to glue your spout in. Now you need to pick the position properly for your spout. I'm going to try and keep my camera as straight as I can.